Hello, companions, and hello, YouTube. It is BigHatBrock coming back with another YouTube video, another book video. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit of Star Wars. We're going to be talking about a Star Wars series that I enjoy a lot, and I think if you're a big fan of the Clone Wars and have never read this series, I would highly recommend it because I feel like a lot of the stuff that the Clone Wars, the kind of the core values of the Clone Wars, is present in these books. That's the Republic Commando novels by Karen Travis. You might be able to see, a few of them here behind me. Here's the first one, Hard Contact, which I'm pretty sure is just, the cover is just a piece of concept art from the Republic Commandos video game, which I want to talk about quick. I'm going to put this back. If it falls, I'm not going to fix it. Oh, I lied. I caught it. It keeps wanting to fall. Okay, we're going to leave it like that. This book series, and it says on top, it says the official video game tie-in. There was a game on the original Xbox and the PC called Star Wars Republic Commandos. This is one of my favorite Star Wars games of all time. I feel like it has a huge cult following now. Great game. Incredible game. Voice of Temuera Morrison, who played Jango Fett, he plays the main commando. And it's a really good game, and it ends on a cliffhanger that most likely will never be resolved. I don't think they'll ever go back and finish it. I mean, I can hope and pray, but that's about it. But hey, rebellions are built on hope, am I right? Anyway, yeah, Star Wars, am I right? So the game is really good, and it ends on this cliffhanger, and I'm pretty sure in like the booklet or somewhere in the case, sadly I don't have a physical copy of that game anymore, but in the booklet there was like you've played the game, now read the official tie-in novel. And I was like, well, okay, if that's what I gotta do to hear more of this story, I'll do it. So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, bang, I got this book. I'm gonna get it again. My mom was kind enough to buy me the first copy, Hard Contact by Karen Travis. Here it is. Notice there's no Legends logo, insignia, brand on it, because it was before Legends came out. This was before the Disney merger or whatever, before Disney bought Star Wars, right? And they decanonized all the books. So here is Hard Contact, and I read it as a kid, and I'll be honest, I thought it was really boring, and I didn't get it. The first novel does not cover Delta Squad. The Republic Commando video game is about Delta Squad. You play as Boss, then there's Fixer, Scorch, and Sev. This is kind of like, not kind of, it's Omega Squad. Let's see, it's been a minute. Aten, Niner. I can't remember the other people's names. Let's see if it says it on the back. There's two more. It'll come back to me. But I was like really confused. Like, why wouldn't it says tie-in, where are our characters? Also, with the game, with the only game, with the Republic Commando game, you start it up and you get like the boing, like the loud menu music and like the action, music video, and then the missions are explosions and excitement and all kinds of stuff, right? The first book is kind of like a stealth mission. Like, it's much slower. It's a bit more grounded. It's very like, I guess both games are very gritty, but this game is like, or the book is kind of like slower. And again, I read it and I was like, that was kind of boring. Like, I don't really like that. But then I read the back of the second one, 000, which I believe is also, I think they're all the covers are probably just concept art. But then 000, which is the next one, this has our Delta Squad people. You see Boss and Fixer there, and the others are in the background. It's kind of hard to see. But Boss, it had our Delta Squad boys, so I was like, okay, our boys are coming back. I'll read the next one if our boys are coming back. And I read it, and I thought it was even worse. So, and then my mom got me the third one, True Colors, and I didn't even start it, or like I read it for a little bit, then I forgot about it. And then I can't remember why. Oh, I remember. I was like, okay, I need to read more of the books in my collection. I kept buying books without reading them, which I still kind of do now. But I was like, I'm gonna commit to reading this book regardless. And so this was in like 2021, 2022-ish. And because it's the third one and I couldn't really remember what was happening, I decided to reread the series. And I really appreciated it a lot more the second read around. I'd probably say the third one or the fourth one. Those two go for like my favorites. But I really appreciated more of what the author was going for here. I believe Karen Traviss has a background in military, like she reported on the military, like a journalist or something. She knows a lot about the military. Hey, what's going on, people of YouTube? I've decided to interrupt this book review video real quick, this book series review video. I'm talking about Karen Traviss and her time with the military. All I can get here is, I wanted to clear this up, all I can get here is that she says she spent time in the Royal Navy Auxiliary Service, which is apparently disbanded, and the Territorial Army. And she says she didn't really face anything super intense, so I guess it was mostly training, but still like a good background in military and stuff, which proves she knows something. Anyway, back to the video. So there's a lot of, to my limited understanding, like actual military procedure and how they would talk in like a battle setting, all of that. And I really just enjoyed the characters and the way they interacted with each other. I'd say that's kind of the thing that pulls me in the most is that the clones actually have names and they have a personality and they share their thoughts and feelings and they build this bond of camaraderie. Camaraderie is like a big thing for me. So I feel like in a lot of ways that relates to the Clone Wars series where clone troopers have names. The clone troopers are like have personalities and different traits. They might look the same, but the way they talk and act, they aren't exactly. They're more unique than they seem. Also, one clone trooper talks about how he wants to start a farm. That is an episode of one of the early episodes of the Clone Wars. Is they find a clone that defected, and he just wanted to start a farm and start a family. Another clone talks about starting a family in this series. There's a clone that defects and tries to help, the other side and talks about how BS the war is. That's in this book, and that's also in the Clone Wars. A lot of stuff like that. I found a lot of similarities between the show. And then the character Cal Skirata, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. It's Star Wars, okay? It's tough to say the names. He's kind of like the glue that brings everybody together. He trains everybody. He's like the lead sergeant. And I just thought he was so cool. And I loved the groups coming together, all of that. His Cal's like rival is Waylon Vow, I think is how you say it. Like Cal's a little nicer to the clones as a trainer, whereas like Waylon was like, nah, like we're going to be serious about this. I'm not messing around. Like love isn't a thing I understand. And so there's this whole debate on like, is it better to push someone to their limit? Is it better to push someone but also show some kindness? That's a nice little dynamic throughout the books. So yeah, really the whole thing is kind of like the characters. The weakest part of pretty much all the books is what they're doing. Like the first book is about them trying to stop this scientist from creating a virus that will kill all the clone troopers, which sounds pretty serious and pretty scary. The Republic doesn't want that to happen, but there's something like, I just didn't feel the stakes. Like I don't want to say I didn't care, but like that's kind of how it was. Like I didn't really feel like they didn't do it in a way that made it feel that significant. The same thing with like the second book. I don't even like remember who the villain was or what they were, but it's all about the conversations and the interactions between the clones and the other people, which really pulled me in. The biggest issue with the series, I want to let you know ahead of time, if you do decide to read it, it doesn't officially end. So there's 5 books behind me. I'm going to count because math is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I counted. I don't care. I had to count, all right? There's 5 books, but the series never ended. The farthest we got... Oh no. The farthest we ever got was this book, Star Wars 501st, an Imperial Commando novel, which is our clone troopers are transitioning from the Republic to the Empire, and it was good, but it doesn't end because around this time that the book came out, a little bit after this book came out, Disney bought Star Wars and took over everything, and so they stopped all the novels going at the time and and decanonized everything, made it Legends. And so this is the end. This is the last one, and it doesn't exactly have an ending. So if you're really picky about, the destination, it's, is it the destination? Is it the journey? Is the real Republic Commandos the friends we made along the way? I think so. But I'm happy I read it. Like, rereading it, I was more like, oh, I actually want to finish this, or like read as far as this goes. And so I'm glad I did. And I had to get a newer copy of this one. This Star Wars Order 66. So you see the Legends brand there saying it's not canon. This was a fun one because it matches up with the game. Finally, it matches up with when Delta Squad is on Kashyyyk in the video game Republic Commando, and there's dialogue right from the game, and there's the ending is related to the game, or not the ending, but there's a part in the middle that's related to the ending of the video game, is what I'm trying to say. And I was like, okay, this is really fun. And so the books, I can see it wants to fall. It's gonna fall. Do it. It's slowly leaning forward. Are you kidding me? There we go. All right, these things, I tell you what. Okay, but yeah, Order 66, the book, it matches up with the game and then goes a little bit past the game. The same thing with that Imperial novel, the Imperial Troopers novel. So the books do kind of go a little bit past where the game goes, which is really fun, and I enjoyed that. But we still don't quite get a final resolution or whatever final answer. I'm going to spoil it. I mean, this game it's nearly 20 years old, this game. It might actually be 20 years old. I don't remember exactly when it came out. But the Republic Commando video game ends with Sev, the clone trooper Sev getting attacked, the Republic trooper Sev getting attacked. We don't know who attacked him, what happened to him, but he's gone. And then you're on a gunship. Master Yoda's like, Delta Squad, you got to do this thing. I don't know why I turned into sketch, but Delta Squad, you got to do this thing. And so they're like, all right, let's do it. And then the gunship closes, and that's the last we ever saw of them. And so this book doesn't exactly answer. It doesn't answer where Sev went at all, but it was still cool to see the world continued, or those storylines continued after the game. So, and also, one small complaint I have is there's kind of there's some either intentional or unintentional foreshadowing that happens a lot, and a lot of times there's no there's no answer to that. And maybe we would have seen that in the final book if that's what she was building towards, the author that is. But it just felt like there was one too many things that were built up with, or not built up, but foreshadowed that never came to be. So. And hey, maybe we'll never know. Or maybe someday they'll let her write the final book. Most likely not, but we will see. We'll see about that. I guess we just have to wait and see. Anyway, that was the Republic Commando novels. We have it's Hard Contact, 000. I'll show this one off because it's the only one I guess I didn't show off. True Colors, which is a pretty good one. One of my favorites of the series. And that Imperial novel, and that is it. So yeah, if you like the Clone Wars, if you enjoy the clone part of the Clone Wars, you might be like, that's in the title, but there's a few episodes of the Clone Wars that aren't focused on the clones. But I certainly enjoy all the clone stuff, and if you're looking for something that's heavily clone involved, I encourage you to go back to this Legends series and read these books. I know they did a reprint where these books got fancy new covers, which I was kind of surprised that they even remembered this series to reprint them. So I don't know, maybe the Legends books sell better than the canon books. I don't know. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching this book video. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know if you've ever read this series somehow. And let me know if you want me to do an in-depth review on each book, because I'd be happy to. Now, it's been a minute since I read them, but I'm sure I could piece together the details. I remember them fairly well. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to end this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, all the stuff that every single person says to do. Please do it. It would help me out a ton. Makes me feel happy. So yeah, that's it. I need to learn to find a proper intro or outro for videos. I can never figure that out. But companions, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, have a nice day.